In this episode, we're going to continue on with my diabetic journey. So if you want to know how things went today, you know what to do. Stick around. Good morning. Here we are on day 7. And I am making my breakfast, the Live Better mix. That's what I'm making this morning. I noticed yesterday I had more energy, and when I walked farther, I wasn't totally dead. I was a little out of breath, but that's because at the last bit tried to walk a little way faster than I normally do to get that last crunch in. So I'm going to make my breakfast, take my morning regimen of pills, and then I'll pick you guys up when I start my walk. Well, I'm getting ready to start the walk, and it's kind of muggy. You know, I know that weather was coming in a storm in the Gulf, and some parts of Texas getting some rain. Okay, it's a little muggy out here today. You know, we have this storm that's in the Gulf that some of Texas is getting rain, but my part of town, we just supposed to get wind and hot air. Yeah, got my stick this morning. I am not on the right buggy this morning, y'all. But I'm not turning around and going back and getting it. I carry the stick with me in case I run into any dogs or something. But I hadn't ran into any. And then this morning, I leave out. And what I do, I leave out without my stick and watch me run into a dog. I'm not going to bring that into me. But it's muggy. They said we might get a little rain, but I don't think our part of town is getting any. So I want to go ahead and get my walk on before, in case if it does start raining, that I've already accomplished my goal of my walk today. So I drank my supplement and I did my stretches. And now I'm off on this walk. You know, I was thinking back when I first found out that I was a diabetic. I had no signs of anything. I was doing everything like normal, cleaning, you know, doing me. And I wasn't as big as I am now. I was cleaning one day. Exactly, I was mopping the house. Because in the house that we were leasing, the whole front part of the house was all this white tile. So you know, white shows everything. So I was up and I was mopping and I kept getting thirsty. So I would go drink some water, get back to work. Kept being thirsty, went drunk some more water, got back to work. And still thirsty, went got some more water, got back to work. Well, this kept going on, and then I looked up and realized I had drank almost a gallon of water, and I was still thirsty. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not a good sign. To be thirsty continuously like that. And no matter how much water I drank, I was still thirsty. And I knew that was a sign of diabetes. But you know, your girl didn't want to look into that. So when my husband got home, I had him check my blood sugar. Okay, at that time, my husband was a pre-diabetic, so he has the thing there to test your blood sugar, right? So he tested mine. My sugar was so high, all the machine could say was high. It didn't give me a number, it just said high. So my daughter happened to come by, And he told her what happened and showed her what it said on the machine. So I went and took me some apple cider vinegar, old folks remedies. And I told my daughter, I'll be fine. So she said, if it ain't down in the morning, Mama, we going to the ER, period. That's my daughter, right? So I'm like, whatever. So the next morning, we took it. It said, high. So my daughter took me on to the ER, right? And when they tested it, it was, what was it? It was right at 600, almost 600. And they were like, well, we're going to give you need to up your insulin. I said, insulin? I'm not a diabetic. And the doctor said, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, but you're a diabetic. I said, the devil is a lie. I'm not no diabetic. So he said, well, ma'am, we're going to give you insulin. I said, I don't want no insulin. He said, we're going to give it to you in your IV. We got to get your sugar down before you have a stroke. So I'm like, y'all just trying to find something to do. So they gave me some insulin. Come back about 45 minutes to an hour later. It had dropped down to 500. Then they came back in about another hour. It had dropped down to like 480. So the doctor said, okay, we got to give you more insulin. It's not doing what it should. So they gave me some more insulin. They come back in an hour. It had dropped down to 300. So they said, okay, we're going to keep you here a little longer. We want you down in the hundreds before we let you go. I said, I ain't sitting here all day. And he said, ma'am, we have to do this. And my daughter said, she ain't going nowhere because I'm driving. So I sat there. It got down to 200 and something. I think it was like 210, 215. And then he said, well, we're going to go ahead and let you go home. But you need to make an appointment with your doctor so you can get on insulin. I said, I am not. I repeat, I am not getting on insulin. This is what I told the doctor. So I made an appointment with my doctor. Told her what went on. She sent for my stuff from the hospital. While I was sitting there, she come back and she said, well, Stephanie, you're going to have to get on insulin. I said, no, I'm not. I am not taking no insulin. I ain't shooting myself with no needle every day. Not doing that. And she said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put you on metformin. And with the metformin, we're going to monitor you. And if this keeps you down, then we good. I'm like, cool, we'll do that. So for like 6 months, she told me that if you get ready to take your metformin and your sugar is 90 or below, or really 100 and below, do not take the metformin. So I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll test. So for 6 months, for the first 3 months, I took it morning and in the evening, or at night rather, because my sugar was, was over 100. Then after those 3 months, When I wake up in the morning, it would be 90. In the evening, it'd be 87, something like that. So I went back to her for the 6-month checkup, and she asked me, okay, show me what your stats are on, on your reader for your sugar every morning and evening. And I showed her, and she said, so you haven't been taking any metformin for 3 months? I said, 3 months, I haven't needed it. She said, okay, we're going to come back and see you in 6 months and see what it does. So, 6 months, hadn't taken a pill. Sugar was under 90 every morning, every night. Okay? So they couldn't figure out why in particular that day my sugar shot up to almost 600. So she asked me, what did I take different that I hadn't taken before? And lo and behold, I thought, okay, I was drinking fit tea and trying to get my health on, right? So I thought I went to the emergency room that day for the fit tea. For the sugar being up, I hadn't drank any more fit tea. Sorry for the traffic noise. So after that day, I gave the fit tea to my daughter. So my sugar had been normal. So she took me off metformin. Told me don't take any, period. They weren't going to subscribe it to me. Because here it is 9 months and I haven't taken a pill. For years, nothing. 4 years. And then, all of a sudden, here we go again. It's back. So, what they've come to the conclusion of is that stress, and when I get stressed, I eat a lot of chocolate, and they think that may be the problem of why my sugar jumped up so. But we'll see how that goes. Well, I'm well past my mark, so I'll pick you up on my way back home. Okay, I'm back. I walked way farther than yesterday, so I'm really interested in seeing how many steps I took and what was my distance. Now, I've noticed a big difference yesterday and today by drinking the Live Better supplement. I have more energy, and I didn't tire out so quick, but I was able to go way farther than yesterday, and I'm really happy with that. So I'll keep drinking the Live Better every morning to give me that boost of energy I need to accomplish my goal, because I've passed the first goal, and the second one is to walk this new street that I turned on all the way up to the large connecting street. So I'm halfway there, so we'll see how that goes the rest of this week, and I'll catch you later on. Getting my water intake as I come back in. I'll see you later. Okay, everything I filmed before showing you what I took out to cook, I don't know where it went to, but what I have is some ground chuck, and I have some wheat spaghetti noodles, some no salt tomato paste. I cut up some green peppers, and I have some garlic, some oregano, Italian seasoning, and some nature seasoning. No, I use Tony Chachere's no salt in this. I, of course, fried my ground meat, the bell peppers, and the garlic. And I made my own garlic bread because I forgot to go by the store and pick up some. So all I did was take some butter and I use no salt butter. And I melt the butter and I put cilantro, I put garlic, and some salt and pepper to taste. And that's my garlic butter for my bread. And I put the bread in the air fryer to make me garlic toast. I put on the noodles and I fried up my meat. And when the meat was through frying, I drained it and I added in tomato paste and water and my seasonings. And I just cooked a diabetic low sodium spaghetti. Now, when I was little, my mom would put the meat and the noodles together in the same pot, and that's because our budget was tight. But now I cook it separately. My husband doesn't like it mixed like that, so I cook the pasta in one pot and the meat in the other. So it's up to you if you add cheese or Parmesan cheese, whatever, on the top when it's all finished. But all you're doing basically with diabetic meals is things you're taking out with salt. So you have to be aware how much salt you put in your menu. Now, instead of ground meat, I had to get ground chuck. Less fat on the meat is better for a diabetic. And then the wheat pasta is better than the normal pasta. So you just switch things around to get the same meal. So I'm going to stop talking and let you finish watching me cook this up and plate it. And I don't know where all the rest of the stuff went to. My phone was acting retarded today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you want to see more, click the video here or the link below and you'll be blessed.